An army of scarecrows have popped up and outgrown the population of those still left behind.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most bizarre towns in the world. For this list, we're ranking for uniqueness derived from nature or human choices. Number 10. Monsanto, Portugal. You might want to say that this town takes integration with its natural surroundings to a whole new level. However, new is a term that feels weird when applied to Monsanto. There's been a settlement on this mountain since the 1100s, and evidence suggests human presence dating back to the early Stone Age. It's been maintained and developed over the centuries and through various wars. Many of the village's 800-plus residents live in homes built directly into the granite rock face, giving them a look that mixes modernity with the prehistoric and the medieval. It was awarded the distinction of most Portuguese village of Portugal in 1938, for which it received a silver rooster, which was proudly placed atop the clock tower. Number 9. Taos, New Mexico, USA. Earthships are the revolutionary creation of Michael Reynolds. The American architect took upcycled materials such as used tires and bottles and combined them with some natural materials to create sustainable homes.
Reynolds started a company to build and sell his homes and to teach people how to build their own.
They're designed to be less reliant on public utilities and fossil fuels, using solar energy and rainwater whenever possible. They use natural cross-ventilation to regulate indoor temperature.
It's almost like if you're inside a cave. So caves usually stay at about 63, 65 degrees all year round. And so then it's a lot easier to cool or to warm up that space.
This last part is particularly relevant in places like Taos, New Mexico, where Reynolds began building them in the 1970s. While this particular type of off-grid living is popular around the world, they are most popular in Taos, which now boasts more than 70 such structures.
Once you start looking at these homes differently than traditional construction in the country and in the world, these just make so much more sense.
Number 8. Lainkonada, Peru. It's the highest permanent settlement on Earth, located between 16 and 17,000 feet above sea level.
This hard-scrabble clutter of corrugated iron shacks and bustling markets is the highest human habitation in the world.
Some also call it Devil's Paradise because of unchecked criminal gangs. But conditions in this Peruvian Andes town make it anything but a paradise. There is no running water, no functional sewage systems, food is imported from lower areas, and they only got electricity in the 2000s.
And only the hardest can carve out a living here. Such is life up in thin air.
Despite these challenges, Lainkonada has a population of close to 30,000, and many of them chose to move there. The reason is simple: gold. The area has several gold mines, some legal and some illegal. The air is thin due to the altitude and contains mercury vapor, so life expectancy is only 30 to 35 years.
These lands hold vast riches, destined for shimmering jewelry showrooms far away. Yet the people who haul that treasure from the depths are trapped in a cycle of poverty.
Number 7. Longyearbyen, Svalbard, Norway. When it comes to settlements with a population of more than 1,000, this is as far north as you can go.
Actually, we're all here squeezed in this little space here because of the nature, yeah?
For 4 months of the year, the sun doesn't shine on this eastern Norwegian community, and there is a week-long celebration called Solfestuga when daylight finally returns. Residents are required to carry a rifle outdoors to protect against polar bears, and cats are banned.
Here, it's dangerous. You have polar bears, so you need to be awake. You need to be aware what's happening around you.
Death in Longyearbyen is not just unconventional. It's effectively, though not literally, illegal. It's too cold for bodies to decompose. The terminally ill must fly to the mainland in their final days, and when someone dies unexpectedly, the body must be transported off the island. It is possible to bury cremated ashes with a permit, but no bodies have been buried there since 1950.
You're not meant to be born here, that's for sure. We don't have a maternity ward, and even if you are unlucky enough to die here, you're going to be shipped off.
Number 6. Rakamadur, France. If you want to take a trip back to medieval times, but also get your cardio in, may we recommend Rakamadur, France?
Overlooking the Alzou Valley is Rakamadur.
At the bottom, there is a preserved medieval village, spread out over what is pretty much one street. The buildings date from the 1300s to the 1700s, though they have, of course, been repurposed for modern times. Then, there is a 233-step staircase that leads to the churches, which collectively are a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Up a little further is the Castle. This is a pilgrimage people have done for centuries and can still be done today. While it does make our list of bizarre places, it's also the third most popular tourist attraction in France.
This vertical village is visited by 1.5 million people every year.
Number 5. Naguro Village, Shikoku, Japan. This village on Japan's smallest island previously had a population of approximately 300. By 2019, that number had dwindled to just 27. That's the human population. If you count the life-size scarecrows, though, it's closer to 400.
Sitting in fields, at bus stops and empty shops, scarecrows have taken over the shrinking village.
In the early 2000s, former resident Tsukimi Ayano returned to the village and made a doll in her father's likeness and placed it in a field.
My crops just didn't grow, so I thought that they were being eaten by those crows. That's when I decided to create some scarecrows, and that's what started all this.
She made more, some representing former residents and others invented. Some of her neighbors joined in, placing them all around town. The old school became home to several scarecrows after classes stopped in 2012. Now, the village's scarecrow population outnumbers its human population 10 to 1. This town is now known as the Naguro Doll Village or the Naguro Scarecrow Village.
Ayano wants to keep making scarecrows that entertain visitors.
Number 4. Chibita Deanor, Viterbo, Italy.
Each morning as the sun rises on this medieval town seemingly plucked from a fairy tale, the narrow lanes of Civita di Bagnoregio are quiet.
Just getting to this hilltop town, about 75 miles north of Rome, is itself a challenge. You'll need to cross a footbridge over a gorge. It was built as an Etruscan settlement roughly 2,500 years ago, and originally had 5 gates which have disappeared over the centuries due to erosion, causing some to call Civita di Bagnoregio the dying city.
But now a mix of geological engineering and tourism is giving this ancient city new life.
The bridge was built in 1965, has a toll, and is accessible to pedestrians and at sometimes bikes and motorcycles. The town itself has preserved its medieval look. It's a few blocks surrounded by stone, with some unavoidable bits of modernity such as business signs and patio furniture. There are only 16 human residents, and a bunch of cats live there as well.
And who knows how many cats.
Number 3. Hallstatt, Guangdong Province, China. If you're looking for the old world charm of an Austrian village, you may want to consider a trip to China.
So this is a replica of Austrian city named Hallstatt, and also this place is named Hallstatt.
After the South Korean soap opera Spring Waltz filmed some scenes in Hallstatt, Austria, interest in the town grew across Asia. The BBC suggests this may have been the reason China Minmetals Limited decided to construct a complete replica of the UNESCO World Heritage Site in the southern Guangdong province. They copied the buildings, the town square, the beer garden, and even the parish church.
The Chinese copy includes a replica of its clock tower and picturesque wooden houses.
Though in this Hallstatt they use it as a reception hall instead of a place of worship. Opened in 2012, the replica town has 700 residents and is a major tourist attraction.
When news of the project first broke, some of the villagers in Austria were upset. But since then, attitudes have softened.
Number 2. Damor, Piedmont, Italy. Above ground, this town, or technically this federation of independent communities in northern Italy, is unconventional to say the least.
With 600 citizens and a worldwide community, the Damanurians have set up a new philosophical way of living.
Established as an eco-village in 1975 by Oberto Airaudi and 12 friends. It was named after Damanhur in Egypt. Residents have adopted animal and plant names. There are different classes for citizens, and they have their own currency, the credito. But if you look below the surface, literally, you will find a network of underground temples dubbed the Temples of Humankind.
These temples are considered to be the most sacred places in Damanhur.
They are among the largest underground temples in the world, and the Italian government didn't even know they existed until 1992.
I templi sono fatti per parlare con la persona che in quel momento ne sta facendo esperienza.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Coobery, South Australia. It's not just a mining town, it's a town largely built in mines. This South Australian settlement rose to fame as the opal capital of the world in the early 20th century. Roughly 70 opal mines still operate in the area, but residents have converted the abandoned tunnels into living spaces they call dugouts. Over half of Coobery's roughly 1,400 inhabitants live underground.
Even the churches are on the down low.
this isn't a rustic existence. There are underground homes with all the modern creature comforts you'd expect, plus ventilation shafts. In fact, they're quite a bit more comfortable in the summer, where temperatures on the surface can rise to 127 degrees Fahrenheit.
You'll never live in a house again. You never need heating, you never need cooling.
Home renovations can also be profitable rather than costly, as you might just find some opal in the walls.
And it's fabulous. I would never swap. Never.
What do you think of our list? Have you been to any of these places or know of a more bizarre town? Let us know in the comments.
Here, an upside-down life is normal.